Alex here. Happy to see everyone. Most likely going to be on the replay. We don't got a lot of people in our lives, but I wanted to record a job tour that we did this job a year ago. You may have seen some stuff on Instagram about it, but here we are. It's it's a cabin style cottage. Here, let me flip it around here. Oh wow, look at that. Well, you can see these jobs we work at. It's just amazing. But yeah, here we are, cabin style build cottage, and I'm just doing this live real quick because I gotta wait for all the snow to melt off the roof. I'm just getting absolutely saturated. So give another half an hour, everything will be gone. Sun's coming out. So but yeah, I just wanted to take you around, show you some of the details we used here. Okay, so to start off, this is 0.8 mil thick zinc. Yes, I said millimeter because they don't tell you. I guess it's equivalent to 24 gauge. 24 gauge. So, but this stuff was so heavy when we installed it. But I mean, I tell you, it turned out so good. I love the look. I love the texture of it. It doesn't feel. Well, I don't want to touch it too much because you'll put fingerprints on it. But just everything about it, I really like. This was a brand new color by Ryan Zinc as well. Granum basalt. I'll throw some links into the description so you can go and see some of the under construction pics that we had from the actual install. But anyways, yeah, so it's all 1.5 inch mechanically fastened, or mechanical lock, standing seam, all hidden fastener, expansion clips, fixed clips, and then in behind these shutters they went with a Flatlock panel. And here, let me turn my notifications off, because that is how do I do that. Oh, do not disturb, and we're back. Okay, so Flatlock panel here, and the Flatlock panel returned into the window, and we left them about 3/8 of an inch away from the window. Flatlock panel. This panel is actually hooked into here, so we had to do a transition. So we went 90 degrees here. There's a little flange inside to screw in to keep everything fastened inward, in towards the window. And this is just it transitions from a 90 degree to a Flatlock. So this one could lock in line with the edge of the window. So again, one thing the client really put a lot of emphasis on here was lines and how everything lined up. You can see, the standing seam roofing panel even lining up with the Flatlock panel here. I mean, there's a lot of work, a lot of detail that went into this stuff. Oh yeah, I want to show you guys this. It's where the rubber meets the road when it comes to architects and builders. You can see a bit of a design flaw here. It wasn't really, has not really anything to do with us. We did the install flat on their substrate, but it got a little thick here. It was right at the door frame, and so it was a little bit thicker here than the rest of the wall. And what happens is this is a big shutter. It actually moves back and forth. Reason why they have here. Oh, here we go. Oh. man, they're tough. So there you go. Oh, wow, that was tough. So yeah, when the shutters are closed too, I mean, they wanted everything to line up again. So you see, when the shutter's closed, it just looks like a continuous wall. It's kind of like as if Batman were to make a cottage, right? Because all these shutters close and then it just looks like a bunker where Batman keeps all of his weapons, you know what I mean? Anyways, yeah, you can see just a ton of work, like even up into the chimney. Had to line things up. Let's see what else. What else was special about this? Okay, yeah, eave to wall transition, no overhang. This look's becoming incredibly popular in the modern type build communities. A lot of these folks want to, or I wouldn't say the folks. A lot of the architect firms that they hire want to be published in a magazine, so it's always just they're one-upping their competitors all the time. So they want to always build something that is just ridiculous so it looks good in a magazine. So, you know, all for looks, right? But it's got a function too, and that's where we come into play, and we work with them and ultimately give, because as soon as the architects are done their job and published and everything, you know, they get to walk away, and then who's left with the problem, if there is any, is the client. Oh wow, yeah, I wanted to show you this. So like, what, again, a bit of a design flaw. You wouldn't get to see this on paper, right? But you can see here, like from this angle, you don't see any seams on that Flatlock, and it just looks like a big flat sheet of metal, right? On paper, that's what you see, right? And you can see all the lines line up, you know, but over here, as you start to turn the corner, they disappear, and it just looks like a big old flat piece of metal. So, you know, just little things where architects may not see. But yeah, it was an interesting project. I had a lot of help too. We had some sub crews up here doing some installs, and my in-house crew is just slugging away up here. We were here 4.5 months doing all this. You know what? Let's start walking around. What else can I show you guys? Yeah, see, big shutter. This was a 6-panel shutter, right? So this one covers that one. This one covers that one. That one. That one. Reason why they have these shutters on, mainly for security reasons, because up here where we are, it can be it could be dangerous at night. Is there I guess I can't see any. Oh well. So yeah, I'm just gonna do a little walk around here. I won't spend too much time on it. We're almost 10 minutes. So I want to show you guys some cool details. Oh, okay, so one of their big things was they didn't want to see any trim really on the building. They wanted it basically to all be panels tying into panels. And here's a good example of that. So corner post, usually we piece, but what they wanted was a standing seam look on the corner. So it ties this panel, this standing seam panel, into this standing seam panel. It's technically a trim, but really it's just a small standing seam panel with a 90-degree bend in the middle, right? It's two seams connected with a 90-degree bend, if that makes any sense. But I really like how it turned out. Another one was, so this seam here on the edge of the shutter, when you pull it over, in order for everything to line up and seat nice and now see how these two together make kind of like a T-bar or like a T, but it had to be that way, right? And these are the details that they didn't really necessarily think of when you see it on paper. It's just lines. It's just lines, and when they come together, you know, on the drawing, it's just a line. But they don't like architects don't account for, okay, there has to be a seam on this panel, there has to be a seam on this panel, and for them to sit tight, they got to be back to back, right? And they don't really account for that. But it's a team effort. We all had to make it work. Wall, window, there is just the really streamlined flashing. That's hard to see, but that's got a hook on it, and this panel 90 degrees into the hook on. Really hard to see, but yeah. So this Flatlock panel, right? This Flatlock panel here is just, oh geez, is that gonna dry up? We don't know. This is a 90 degree flange coming off of this Flatlock panel right here, and we measured it out so it would receive the panel from this side, and it just ties in really clean, nice clean look, right? Just a nice clean look. That's what they wanted. And again, so we installed the panels left to right here. So all the fins of the top of the single lock seam are facing that way. All the L's are facing that way. So when this shutter is all the way open, right, we actually had, so we call this a transition panel here, a transition seam. You can see where it splits right up at the top there. So this, once it's open, all those panels still line up, right? So a lot of planning, a lot of expertise. You see, and I oversaw this whole job. I was here from day one, and we plugged away. It was, I mean, it's an out of town job. It's tough, but tough on everyone. But it was lots of learning happened here. A lot of let me flip this around. Oh, what's on there? Oh, there's a little bit of snow left over. Let's see here. Flip it around. Yeah, it was a great learning experience for the crew. They learned a lot of stuff. We had, okay, so way over there, there's a studio. I won't get into that. That's just gonna drag things on. But we had a full-blown shop on site in the garage up there, and it made things really nice, you know, for trims that we needed. It just gave us a lot of control and the most efficient productivity we could have. Oh yeah, I gotta fix that. There's a big tree fell on. I straightened it out already. It was just completely caved in. And now I'm just gonna put a trim right across just to cover things up. But yeah, here I can zoom out. There's a beautiful property. Beautiful, American guy owns it. It's just a beautiful, beautiful property. But yeah, a lot of work, a lot of zinc, and we did this during COVID, which is it, like, to me, still blows my mind away that we got this done during a pandemic. Best place to be during a pandemic. We were completely isolated up here, living basically out of I say basically a lot. Living out of It's like a little cottage that some of the people on the island we know, they rented it out to us, and the whole crew stayed there. It was great. But yeah, we did this during COVID. It still blows me away. It's just absolutely crazy that we were able to deliver on time with the quality levels that that I expect, you know. And underneath you can see there's a lot of oil canning. I'm probably going to get a lot of comments about that, oil canning in the roof. It's zinc, people. This stuff is lit. Like I put, just for example, underneath, see right now, you can't even see any oil canning at all. I mean, there's a little bit, but once this side heats up, once the sun just hits this whole cheek of the building, the whole gable end will oil can like crazy. As for the stuff on the roof, it's just a naturally occurring phenomenon in the metal. You're not going to get away from it. Do not promise your clients no oil canning. You're going to shoot yourself in the foot every time. We do our best to mitigate it, but I have another video you guys can check out if you're interested in it. I'm just wondering what else I could show you guys, but pretty sure that's it. I mean, this entire thing. Okay, so one other thing too was the preparing for this job. I had to quote it. I had to estimate the materials, and I ended up having to order, I think there was about 10 extra flat sheets, which by the way are a lot easier to get than coil when you're dealing with Rhine zinc. But this job was 12 2,000-pound coils, so 24,000 pounds of zinc went into this job, you know. And then also, so 24,000 pounds of coil, and then we had 130 sheets of flat stock that went into those Flatlock panels you see there. And yeah, we just we did what, like we did. It was pretty efficient, the use of the panels, and looks like the dripping is stopping, so I'm gonna get back to work. But just wanted to show you guys, take you around one of our jobs that I mean, this is not a typical job that we do, but we do, you know, when it comes to zinc, they don't just want anybody, you know, they just don't want to hire. So I kind of prided myself a little bit when they asked us to do this, and I was really happy to do it. And yeah, so subscribe, like, hit all the buttons, you know, like just start tapping them. You could share this video with a friend, but thanks for hopping on the live, and we'll catch you on the next video. Peace. Oh.